Good evening and welcome to Gamesmaster, and a very happy new year to every man, child and especially woman out there, because we're celebrating 1997 with a girly special. Yes, everything in today's show has a distinctly female flavour because, let's face it, if the girly show can get a second series, there's hope for all us sisters. Later on in the show, the woman who's responsible for more worn-out pyjamas than any other, Zoe Ball, will be joining us. But first, we begin with today's event, which, keeping with the girly theme, we like to call Platform Queen.
I like to keep a close eye on my female game-playing contingent, so I was particularly interested when I heard about a young lady who goes by the name of Platform Queen, who has particular aptitude for platform games. So my event today is designed to put her through her paces. First, she must collect 30 bananas on Donkey Kong Country 3. Next, 30 DNA triangles on the rather creepy Spider. And then on to Crash Bandicoot to gather 20 apples. She's not been allowed to see any of the levels she's been playing on, and we have only 4 minutes to complete them all. Of course, if she dies at any time, then her challenge will be over. It's a difficult one, so come on, Platform Queen. All the sisters are rooting for you.
Okay, so like we said at the top of the show, this is the girly show, all us girls coming together. Please welcome the first one, Sarah Wade. Welcome to the show, Sarah. Now, Sarah, you are a bit of a platform game fan. Tell us about some of your platforming feats then that you've done.
Well, I've completed every single one of the Mario Brothers, both of the Donkey Kong, and I just love playing them all, Rayman, everything.
What about your mum and dad? Do they share your passion?
Yeah, everyone in our family loves it.
Did your mum and dad end up in hospital or something because of that?
Yeah, they were playing too much and they had carpal tunnel syndrome in the wrist because they were playing too much.
Is that a syndrome I've had for different reasons? And finally, you said you'd like to see more women on Gamesmaster. Why is that?
Definitely, because it's, there's so many males on the show. There's a male presenter and everything else.
We hope, we think. Well, what would you do? What would you like to see them doing then on the show?
I'd like to see them sharing your job, you know, presenting as well.
Presenting with me basically up here getting close to a woman.
Yeah.
And there's certainly a first time for everything. Okay then, Sarah and I are going to check that my hemline is adjusted accordingly. While we do that and get her ready for the event, we'll go to today's news. Like Pamela Anderson's Hand in Marriage, the arcade racing game is one of the most hotly contested genres around. The latest effort trying to muscle in on the action is GTI Club from Konami, a company not noted for its racing pedigree. The game involves racing around city centres behind the wheel of a souped-up Mini. Some might say it's a rip-off of the Italian Job, others might say it's the most original driving game in years, allowing players to choose their own route through the city and generally cause the kind of havoc not seen since Tony Adams lost his licence. Club GTI will be in arcades next March.
Heard of the Dream Team? Well, we're the Mean Team.
Cleaning up at the American box office at the moment is Space Jam, Warner Brothers' latest animated extravaganza, featuring Michael Jordan digitally inserted into a cartoon world to help Bugs and Co out with a spot of alien bother.
They want to make us slaves, so we challenge them to a basketball game.
Released in March, fans of the movie will be able to continue their animated fantasies with Space Jam on the Saturn and PlayStation from Acclaim, two basketball games that bear an uncanny resemblance to NBA Jam on the Mega Drive, also from Acclaim. Like me, the problem with pets is they smell and cack all over the place. Well, now the nation's gone bonkers for Creatures on the PC, which allows you to nurture your very own virtual captive without the smell. You can hatch your little critter, treat it with love and affection, and you'll be able to sit back and feel smug as your well-balanced progeny frolics happily, learns about its environment, and even plays doctors and nurses with other fluffy mates. Okay, welcome back. This is the girly show on Gamesmaster, something I've pioneered to have for a long, long time. That's why we're dressed a little bit differently. We've got Sarah Wade on the show, who's going to attempt to get through 3 platform games within the allotted time. Being hinged to my bracket is Kirk Ewing from Vizette. Kirk, there's something that's different about you today. What is it?
How nice of you to notice, Dominica. I am indeed not wearing my Wonder Bra.
That's what it is. Now, Kirk, the first game is Donkey Kong 3. What tips can you give Sarah on that?
Well, okay, you've got to guide your various collection of donkeys around the thing. The best tip for all of the games that you're going to play is just take things slowly, because you're not going to get a second chance. That's it.
Okay, then make sure you don't miss any of the objects you have to pick up.
You never want to miss the objects you have to pick up.
Okay, thank you very much, Kirk. Right, there are 3 games that Sarah has to play within 4 minutes. The first one is Donkey Kong 3. She's got to collect 30 bananas. We reckon she wants to do it within about 1 minute to leave herself lots of time for the other 2. Best of luck, Sarah. Your time begins now. Okay, so off Sarah goes. In the top left-hand corner of the screen is the banana counter. She's got 6 already. We're looking for 30. There's another clutch of bananas here. Takes her up to 12. A good start, Kirk. Only 10 seconds gone.
Very good start. That's how I got both the monkeys in the troop now. That's Kitty, the big one you can see there in the front, and one of them behind that's little Dixie with a ponytail.
Which is also the names of Polly 8's next 2 children. Okay, this is a very tricky leap here. She hasn't quite made it. That's a tough one, but she did get some more bananas there, though, Kirk. But it's going to take her some time to get back up.
That's right. She's still got to work herself back up using these barrels, jumping on one and the up. Off she goes, back into the cannon. Voila.
Okay, that's up there. Now we're back to this tricky jump again, because she can't hang about, Kurt, when she's on these barrels, because they're going down all the time.
Absolutely. If she makes this jump, you would say it's a classic gaming feat.
It's a fantastically classic gaming feat there. Okay, 47 seconds gone. We're looking for some more bananas, though, Kurt. Where would we like to find some?
She's got to work her way up quite a bit higher, actually, along this platform, and then up in the top right. Further on, she'll find another, at least a few more bananas.
Okay, well, unfortunately, she's lost... Oh, no, I thought she's lost the big monkey, Kurt. We're just out in the wee one now.
Here we go. That's 26 bananas now.
27. There was one more there, Kurt. 1 minute and 9 seconds gone. We said she wanted to do it in about a minute, so she's behind schedule already, Kurt.
She is behind schedule, but she just jumped these last few barrels. Another couple up here.
There we go. That's 30. That's it. Okay, fine. That is the first part of the challenge done in 1 minute 18 seconds. We now go on to Spider, and the challenge there is to collect 30 little DNA globules. Again, we've been looking for her to do it in a minute normally, but she's already 18 seconds behind, so a little bit quicker would be nice. What tips have you got for her on this, Kurt?
Once again, take it steady, pick up as many of the hardware features as you can find early on, and really blast any other insect that dares stand in your way.
Stands between you and your DNA?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Kirk. Right, 1 minute 18 seconds gone. Best of luck, Sarah. Start the second part of your challenge. So, off goes Sarah. You can see a little spider motif at the bottom of the screen, and that indicates the weapon that Sarah's currently selected at the moment. It's a flame, as was aptly illustrated. Above that is a DNA counter, the amount of triangles she's picked up. She's got 11, we want 30. It's a good start, Kurt.
It's an excellent start. We're seeing some top arachnid action. Now we're down in the sewer where the dark, grimy things live. There's a little wasp here. The best thing you can do actually is move over and pick up these rockets, and then she can get back and actually take out this wasp with a heat-seeking missile.
Okay, the missiles will automatically go for the wasp because there's a target around them, although technically if you just ignore a wasp, they will go away. 15 DNA triangles selected so far, 1 minute 55 gone. If she's really quick, she can make up some time here, Kurt.
She certainly could. There's some more over to the right here. That's a big long drop off. Whoa!
Whoa, a little bit of some energy taken off of there. Hopefully that won't prove fatal. She's restoring some of her energy there by picking up those little kind of yellow flashing life battery looking things. 24 bits of triangle DNA, Kirk. I can see some up there. How's she going to get there?
She just has to get up and jump. There she goes. That's another 3 there. And once again, notice the spider sticks onto the side of the platform.
Like a spider does, in fact. There's 3. We want those 3 and that's it. 2 minutes 24 done. Now how's she going to get these? Oh! A spider string! That's it! That's 30 DNA. Okay, stop the clock there. Let's move on to the third part of the challenge. 1.5 minutes left to do it, and it is Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
Now, Kirk, what tips have you got on Crash Bandicoot?
Navigate your little furry fox friend through, and once again, take it nice and slow because you can't afford to fall off any of the edges at all. And looking for the apples, you've got to get 20 apples out of this one. Okay, 1 minute 31 seconds to get 20 apples and complete the challenge. Best of luck, Sarah. Your time begins now. Okay, off goes Crash Bandicoot. That is quite literally an apple that he's picked up there. Gives him 1 apple, that's another one. That makes 2. The apple counter in the top left-hand corner will only pop down when Sarah's collected an apple, so it won't be there for long, so watch very closely. 2 minutes 44 seconds gone. This is a very tricky platform bit here. Very tricky indeed. One of the things you might notice there is Crash Bandicoot is using that spinning thing to get rid of the enemies. Now you've got to make sure that you don't do that next to an apple. Okay, it's a very hard challenge. Oh no, and Sarah has missed the platform there, goes crashing down into that, the great foxhole in the pits of the air, which means the challenge has ended unsuccessfully.
Well, commiserations, sir. Let's talk through the three parts there. We must all say at this point in time, you had played the games, but we deliberately didn't show you the levels that you were playing on in them, so you were up against it. The first one on Donkey Kong Country, maybe about 20 seconds slower than you might have liked to have done it, yeah?
Yeah.
What was the problems there?
Well, it was a tough level, wasn't it? Yeah. And there's barely any bananas about, you know.
That's that thing which often happens in life, and many a terrible wartime drama has been based on that very theory. You did make up the time in the spider one, though.
Yeah.
So that was all right. We were a bit on there, and then again we came to Crash Bandicoot, which is very, very hard. What was the problem there with the platforms at the end of it?
Well, I don't play 3D games really. I play like Mario's, which is straightforward platform games, you know. So it's a bit difficult, different, you know.
Well, we will certainly bear in mind your suggestion for more women to be involved in the show. It's certainly something I'd like to see. So thanks so much indeed for coming on, Sarah Wade. Right, so off goes Sarah. Wonderful girl, lovely personality, pish player. On that amusing note, let's go to today's reviews. In keeping with our tokenistic theme, we thought we'd let some girls review the games this week. First up, it's not as attractive as Zoe Ball, it's Tobal #1.
The gameplay isn't as complex as the games like Tekken and Virtua Fighter, and the enemies aren't quite as intelligent as you'd like them to be, so it makes it erring on the side of average.
I agree with Kate. The fighting mode is quite average. The really exciting part is the quest mode. It's very cool. You walk around, you get to fight any enemy that comes in your way, you learn how to jump over things and do different moves, and you get to pick up things if your energy level is low. Overall, it's an average beat-em-up, but with the quest mode, it's definitely worth a purchase. The only downside is that it does run slower than the import version.
Ready?
Next up, it's not as attractive as Zoe Ball, it's William's Greatest Hits.
William's Greatest Hits gives you Defender 1 and 2, which are the original classic side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, so you have to shoot the aliens, stop them from capturing and taking away your humans, which isn't really worth mentioning because it's a bit boring. Robotron is a highly enjoyable multi-scrolling shoot-'em-up where you've got to shoot all the robot down and not shoot the people.
Sinister is a multi-scrolling shoot-'em-up game very similar to Asteroids, and it was one of the first arcade games to feature true speech. I find Joust quite enjoyable, too. My favorite part is the two-player mode, where you can both fight on screen at the same time.
Classics they may all well be, but for me the only ones really worth playing are Robotron and Joust, which really made this a good purchase.
Finally, it's not as attractive as Zoe Ball, it's Amok on the Saturn.
There are various mission objectives where the action takes place either on land or in the water. It's a fun shoot-'em-up, but it's also very tough. And you've got a few different viewpoints as well.
In addition, there's a two-player split-screen mode where you can work cooperatively against a common enemy or against each other in a head-to-head, and this is just great fun. Overall, Amok is a very tough blaster with a really enjoyable two-player mode. If you've got the guts, then I'd recommend it.
And you can find out more about these games by visiting the Gamesmaster internet site. You can find out more about these girls by visiting my flat. Right, that's part one over. We're going to go to a commercial break now. All of the products advertised here can be used by a girl like me with a little bit of imagination. Coming up in part two, Zoe Ball will be with us. All of that and more coming up in less time than it takes to ladder a stocking. Welcome back to Gamesmaster. One half of the show gone, and this dress is feeling dangerously more comfortable with every minute. Zoe Ball is here. She's just making sure that she is shaving her pits and legs closer than I did this morning. Let's find out what she'll be playing.
The Isle of Man TT race is one of the most dangerous sporting events in the world, and not a place where you'd expect to find too many women. So it's with particular relish that I've ordered my next contestant to slip on her leathers and get out there and burn rubber. Her challenge will be to finish in the top 5 after 2 laps on the tire-screeching Manx TT. She was starting in 8th position, so to complete the challenge, she'll need to come from behind. Marvellous.
So, PVC panted up for this challenge. Please welcome the best reason for an early rise on Saturdays, Zoe Ball. Welcome to the show, Zoe. A wee bit of lipstick on my hand.
No. Can I just comment on how fantastic you look? Can I have a little stroke?
Yes, you can certainly have a look. So, how'd you
We have a problem here. We've got a VPL.
Right.
We're trying to make sure wear any pants.
Okay.
Just a bit of advice.
There is a contractual thing about male Channel 4 presenters must wear pants at all times. I also have a visible belly line as well, which I can't do anything about. But I am expecting.
like it.
I am with child,
Oh, right.
as they say. Now, let's talk about getting up early in the morning. Because I would find that very difficult. Do you ever have any mishaps about having to get up that time?
Yeah, it is pretty horrible when you, because I'm renowned for being late anyway all the time. I'm always late, and a couple of times I overslept. And so you get this phone call saying, where are you? And you have that horrible drive to work where you just feel like you're probably going to be shot or something, then up against the wall. And you walk in and it's like being, at school, and you walk in like that. And horrible. I actually missed a show once.
Totally?
Completely, yeah.
Did you get into trouble?
I did, actually.
Get hit? Did they beat you with a stick?
I wish. No, they didn't, actually.
So do you need any help with getting up early in the morning?
Thank you, no.
Because I know a very
okay,
large,
actually.
fat, bald, bearded Scottish alarm clock.
Really?
That you could use. And this is on a motorbike. Do you have a motorbike? Have you been on a motorbike before?
I'm actually terrified of motorbikes, but I like it out the back. On a motorbike.
And that's enough said. Okay then, Zoe, if you'd like to go and get your leg over this fine machine, and I'm going to go up and talk to another bloke in a skirt. And help me out, this computer games heavyweight, Rick Hennison. Rick, this is the 77th time I've seen you in a dress. Where did you get this particular one?
Well, I actually stole it from a small child, and he wasn't too happy about it either.
And what about this game then? What's the best advice you could give Zoe?
Well, the best advice is to keep your fingers very firmly tightened around the throttle. And when you actually get around a corner, release them slightly, go around the corner a bit wide, and also checkpoints. Gives you 15 seconds extra to complete the challenge.
Okay, can you just say throttle again once more?
Throttle.
That's good. I didn't think you said it quite enough the first time. Okay, Zoe has to finish in 5th place. The longer she can actually carry on the game, then the better. It's quite tough for her because she was quite abysmal in practice. So best of luck, Zoe. Start your engine. Okay, so we've clad Zoe in red leather for the purpose of this race. You can see her position in the top left-hand corner of the screen. In the top right-hand corner is a map of the track. The little flashing red triangle is where Zoe is on the track. She's up to 4th place already. A good start, Rick.
That's a good start, but these are early doors. These are easy corners. She's going to have a lot of trouble later on. A Ben could do this much.
Okay, then, so she rubbed that corner a little bit, and that's taken her down to 6th place. So we've got a straight here. She can maybe overtake this guy.
So here comes the checkpoint. Here comes the checkpoint. She's got 15 extra seconds there.
Okay, just going into quite a gentle banking left-hander there. Still in 5th, but there's a clutch. A lovely bunch she's got right up in front of her there, Rick.
This is a wide corner. She's taken it very well.
They've slipped inside her. A couple of men slipped inside Zoe there, and but she's managed to knock one of them off. She's up to 6th again now, but she's got it in her sights, Rick. They're running out of time.
She's going to have to get a grip of that throttle control and get her thighs wrapped round completely.
I would like to see her holding it a little bit tighter myself, Rick. Okay, she's going to the right-hander. She's back into 7th place, but 25 seconds. Still enough time to get into 5th, which is what the challenge is, Rick.
She's in a good position now to take the
That's
next
it, she's up in the front, but no! She's into the wall, Rick.
This is wall tennis. It's Stonesville, USA.
13 seconds left. She's in 7th. If she can just take him on this bench, she can still get up to 5th. She's revving up there. She's taking the left-hander. Oh, no! She's in the wall. She's going to slow down. I don't think she's going to do it. 3, 2, 1. That is the time. Oh! She did get through the finishing line, but let's just see. She finished in 6th. So by 1 place, Zoe's challenge ends in failure. Bad luck, Zoe. You would do quite well at the start there. Then what happened? What went wrong?
I was listening to you.
And, always a bad mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, it's so difficult. You just have to concentrate so hard, and I'm useless at these kind of things.
You're not.
But I enjoyed it, though. I don't think it was so bad, was it?
You're not the first woman to be captivated by the rolling lilt of my accent, Zoe, as we said. Well, Zoe, you haven't won the joystick.
I'm not at all surprised. I never thought I was going to win it, though, so at least I'm not disappointed.
But you have captured my heart.
Oh, have I?
So I hope you can take that home as consolation.
Oh, darling.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much indeed for coming on.
Who writes your lines?
I make them all up. Isn't
Really?
it amazing? Do you know what I mean? I just find it, I feel it about here, or sometimes lower down, and then before I know it, it just come out. And that's it. But thank you very much for coming on. Always nice to have someone on who I fancy. That's why I'm sure it's the same for you. Okay? Boy, easy, Tiger. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Tonight's special guest, Zoe Ball. Okay, it's about this time in the show where I come up with a highly complicated but very amusing link into today's feature. In the interest of variety, though, today, I won. A few weeks back, Nintendo held their annual Shoshinkai exhibition to reveal the latest progress on games in development for their N64 Super Console. Over 20 games at various stages of completion were there, including the finished version of the game everyone was waiting for, Mario Kart 64.
64だからこそ実現できた起伏にあふれるコースで壮絶なバトルレースが繰り広げ
For
られる
people like me with lots of mates, a particularly appealing fact was that it can be played as a 2, 3,
白熱する
or even 4-player game, with each player having a surprisingly intelligible view. Another game that's shaped up nicely is Star Fox 64, which provides the same mixture of frantic shoot-'em-up action and hazardous obstacle course type shenanigans that made the Super NES version such a hit.
戦国に立ち向かうため
New features include a 4-player option where players go head-to-head,
アーウィンで
a rather nifty Land Cruiser modelled on an old pair of my pants, and superb dogfighting gameplay. On top of all this, Star Fox 64 features the most spectacular selection of bosses since the last G7 summit. Many games were being seen for the first time, like this decidedly cutesy, icky platform game featuring Mario's pet dinosaur, Yoshi. More platform action was to be had with the bizarrely titled Go-Go Troublemakers, while looking like a cross between Doom and Virtua Cop was the James Bond licensed GoldenEye. Die, ugly bad man! Any console worth its salt, though, needs a good football game, and the first contender hoping to steal an early lead is Superstar Soccer from Konami. Essentially a 3D version of their Super Nintendo footy sim, this was probably the most exciting of the new games premiered at the show. The Japanese, who are currently going football bonkers after winning the right to stage the next World Cup, seemed well impressed with its superbly smooth animation, fluid gameplay and wide range of moves. Qualities in stark contrast to their national team, it has to be said. So, along with a handful of games already out, it looks like the N64 is building a strong lineup, something it will certainly need when it's released over here for 250 notes on March the 1st. If I was Mr. PlayStation or Mr. Saturn, my pants would be getting filled. Okay, that's it for the show. Thank you for watching. We are off shopping now, and next week's show is going to see Sanjay from EastEnders, Deepak Verma here with us. And I'll leave you with this question, bearing in mind that the platform queen failed miserably, Zoe Ball failed miserably. Why don't we have more girls on Gamesmaster? Good night. And of course, the 2nd of January wouldn't be the same without our Gamesmaster internet site address. That's the little thing at the bottom with the letters and the dots.